In fact, the importance of the D8 summit, which convened today in Cairo, is represented by a number of pillars, the first of which is the discussion regarding the fostering of economic cooperation between the main powers in the Islamic developing world. Because, each and every one of the member states of the D8 organization, in fact, tackles a specific subject. Egypt tackles and gives due care to trade, Turkey to industry, healthcare, environment, while Nigeria, for instance, gives a lot of care to energy, economics, as well. Other member states like Bangladesh and Indonesia give a lot of attention to rural development and poverty combating, and so it is evident that the 8 member states, each one of them tackles a specific sector with a unique added value. And so we find that the summit is being convened under the title of Investing in Youth and Fostering SMEs towards the formation of tomorrow's economy. And of course, we know that tomorrow's economy is going to predicate heavily on SMEs and the entrepreneurship endeavors carried out by the youth. The other pillar that gives the summit a great importance is that it discusses and tackles pressing political issues, because Egypt, Turkey, and Iran are closely engaged in specific political issues and have stances regarding these issues, like the ceasefire in Gaza and as well the Syrian crisis after the ouster of President Bashar al-Assad was ouster of President Bashar al-Assad was something that was tackled in the sessions of the summit as well. On another note, Iran is trying to reposition itself in the Middle East, and it is trying to foster its relations with Egypt in order to scale its diplomatic representation in Cairo. As well, Turkey is trying to engage in deliberations with Egypt in order to discuss the Syrian subject, since Turkey, in fact, is a pivotal player in the political arrangements that are going to be embodied in Syria in the future, in the near future, in fact, as well.
Now,
the member states, these 3 member states, in fact, are more than interested in minimizing the Israeli influence in the region. And for that matter, Mr. Bichiam, the Iranian president, he called on the Islamic countries to stand and consolidate their efforts in order to put a limit to the Israeli aggression in the region.
Now, what role does Egypt play as the host country for the 11th D8 summit, and how does it influence the summit's outcome?
In fact, Egypt puts on different hats in this context. Egypt is one of the developing economies in the region, and the figures attest to that. Specifically, that Egypt has been carrying out comprehensive economic reform. And Egypt, of course, gives due care to SME development. And Egypt as well underscored through the summit the importance of fostering SMEs in the 8 member states, specifically that Egypt is considered a gateway to the entirety of the African continent. In fact, we have countries like Egypt and Nigeria in this member state, in this summit, talking over and over at this issue. In fact, Egypt once more is the main player when it comes to mediation to reach a ceasefire in Gaza or to foster the Arab presence in the government of Syria. And as well, Egypt tries incessantly to reach a ceasefire in Israel, and Egypt keeps on upholding the notion of the national state in the region. And so based on that, of course, Egypt denounces all Israeli offensives and aggression that are meant to demolish national states in the region. As well, Egypt keeps on trying to support peoples caught in conflict zones in Syria, in Sudan, and of course the upheaval of these zones are going to exacerbate the instability in the region, and Egypt doesn't want to see that get perpetuated.
Now, how can the D8 countries strengthen the global position through enhanced collaboration from within?
In fact, of course, there are efforts exerted by the 8 member states in order to reach some degree of pacifism in the Middle East. Of course, one of these measures that attest to that is the issuance of the Cairo Declaration that underscores the importance of restoring stability in the region and to pressure Israel in this context in order to stop its aggression that is pretexted by the 7th of October incidents. In fact, the other point that we have to refer to is Turkey, Iran, and Egypt forming an international coalition that can counter the Israeli or the pro-Israeli coalition in the international community. In fact, Israel is trying, as we know, to remap the Middle East in order to guarantee its own interests. And that is something the 3 member states are actually countering and are trying to fight back on. And as well, some European or the member states can actually establish connection channels with European countries in order to be on board with the visions of the D8 summit member states.